Hare Krishna. As we are regularly reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, starting with first canto, second canto, and third canto, we are almost in the middle. We just started second half of third canto. And in the last couple of weeks, His Grace Nimai Chand Prabhu discussed from chapter 15, 16, 17, 18. He mentioned that 18th chapter up to verse number 10 he covered. So if you remember, I think last month in one class we kind of had overview of the entire third canto starting from 5th chapter all the way up to 12th chapter, 13th, 14th, 15th also. And then a little bit discussion about how the two gatekeepers of Vaikunta, the seventh gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, being cursed by the four Kumaras, they are supposed to take the birth as Asuras for 3 lifetimes. So for the first time, they have appeared as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, or to be more precise, Hiranyakashipu and then Hiranyaksha. Hiranyakashipu was the eldest brother, Hiranyaksha was the younger brother. As soon as they were born, they grew up to youth. This is how the birth takes place, the birth and growth of the children takes place in the upper planetary systems. So generally, the birth, immediately after the conception, the child takes birth, and immediately no time, the child grows up to youth. But understanding that our two children are going to be cause of trouble for the entire universe, Diti kept the embryo within her womb for 100 years. Even while they were within the womb, the entire universe was disturbed with intense darkness. Even the devatas were disturbed and they immediately ran to Brahma and asked for solution and also for the reason. After explaining the reason, Lord Brahma told that it is all Lord's desire. So we don't have anything in our hand. Whenever Lord wants, Lord will appear in particular form and kill or destroy these two demons. Then only all of us can be relieved of the troubles caused by these two sons of Diti. Till then, we simply need to tolerate whatever troubles they inflict upon us. So that was the suggestion given by Lord Brahma. Understanding that this entire event is happening under the supervision, under the will of the Supreme Lord, the Devatas simply tolerating. So on the other side, after 100 years keeping the embryo within her womb, she gave birth to the two sons. As soon as they were born, the entire universe is filled with a lot of ill omens. But eventually, within no time, they grew up to youth. The descriptions are very nicely explained in the previous chapter that their bodies are so huge and they are so tall. Their heads are touching the clouds and going above the clouds. So that was the description of their bodily structure. And then, in order to please his elder brother, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha went on the world tour, basically the world conquest. He went to Indraloka, defeated Indra. He went to Chandraloka, defeated Chandra. Like that, he was going to different places. Understanding his power is invincible. His energy is unlimited. None of the devatas dared to fight with him. As soon as Hiranyaksha entered, the devatas, Gandharvas, and Kinnaras, Kimpurusha, they are all surrendered at his feet. Eventually, he was itching with a strong desire to have a strong opponent, so that he can fight. So thinking that Varuna could be a good match, he went to the ocean asking Varuna that I want to fight with you. Then Varuna told that I have become old. I am not a good match for you. So please go and fight with the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who just appeared as Varaha, and he will be a good match to you. He will teach you a good lesson. And then understanding that there is someone with whom we can fight, he was going place to place. In the middle, he found Narada. Asked Narada, where I can find Vishnu? I heard that he just appeared and he is a good match for me to fight. Then Narada Muni told him that please go to Garbhodaka ocean. That is where he was lifting the entire Bhumandala, which fell into Garbhodaka ocean sometime back. So Hiranyaksha went there. While Hiranyaksha went there, Lord Vishnu, who appeared as Lord Varaha, he was busy lifting the Bhumandala. from the bottom of Garbhodaka ocean. As he was lifting the Bhumandala, Hiranyaksha came and chastised the Supreme Lord, speaking ill words, saying that you are a forest dwelling animal, you are actually stealing our property. Lord Brahma told that the lower planetary systems, including the Bhumandala, everything actually belongs to Asuras. And without our permission, without giving any regard to us, without having any fear of us, you are actually taking away our possession. You are actually a cheater, you are actually a thief, you are actually an animal. Like that, he was scolding, he was criticizing the Supreme Lord like many words. And he told that if you are really a warrior, stay here and fight with me. After killing me, you can take it. Otherwise, it belongs to me. You have no right to take it like that. So that is where the discussion is going on. In the first few verses of this 18th chapter, starting from verse number 1 all the way up to verse number 9. So Hiranyaksha actually spoke with those harsh words. So the Supreme Lord, on one side, he was feeling very sorry that Hiranyaksha was speaking so harshly and in an envious way. And on the other side, Lord was also glad, slightly smiling, because whatever words spoken by Hiranyaksha, in a way, a glorification of the Supreme Lord. Mother Saraswati has that ability to turn the words of criticism to the words of glory. So Lord was happy that Hiranyaksha, who was none other than one of his gatekeeper, one among the Jaya Vijaya, had appeared now as a result of the curse of four Kumaras, and he is exhibiting his love towards the Supreme Lord in the form of anger. So Lord was slightly smiling at him, and then he begins to reply. Lord replies to him in few verses, and then there will be a huge fight between both Lord Varaha and the Adi Daitya. He was called as Adi Daitya, the first demon, Hiranyaksha, because he is the first person who was killed by the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who appeared in the form of Lord Varaha, after the annihilation that took place during Chakshusha Manvantara. So there was an annihilation. We might have heard this pastime of Lord Matsya appearing to King Satyavrata. Once King Satyavrata went to the ocean in order to offer morning oblations. As he took a little bit of water in his palm, a small fish came in his palm, the palm full of water. As he was about to put the water back into the ocean, the small fish told that, so my dear Lord, please protect me. If you throw me back into the same ocean, there are huge fishes who will eat me up. So out of compassion, the king put the small fish into the kamandalu with which he came to the ocean. As he went home, the small fish grew up to the kamandalu size. Then he put into small ponds, big vessel, then a small pond, small lake, small river, and big in the same ocean again, put it back. By the time it became very huge. That time the king understood. This fish is not an ordinary person. It must be the Supreme Lord. Then he asked that, my dear Lord, I think that you must be the Supreme Lord. Please tell me what is your intention in coming like this. Then the Lord revealed that in 7 days, there are going to be a huge inundation, during which Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, all three planetary systems will be annihilated and all the living entities are going to be destroyed. Please kindly take the Saptarishis and some of the important living entities and the grains, the seeds, all the variety of seeds, and enter into your boat, which I will send when the annihilation starts, when the inundation starts. So you enter into that boat, and then I will appear again using Vasuki as the rope. You tie it to me so that I will save all of you during the time of annihilation. So that time there was an annihilation. During the annihilation, the Bhumandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean and submerged into it. And Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, all living entities were destroyed. But eventually, Lord Brahma employed Daksha to procreate children and create living entities all over the three planetary systems. First, he tried with his mystic abilities, but nothing much happening. Then he performed austerities. Lord Vishnu blessed him with a wife. He married her, begot 10,000 sons, sent them to Gurukul. Narada Muni came and delivered them. Then he begot 1,000 sons. Narada Muni delivered them again. He felt very bad, and Brahma told him, don't beget sons, beget daughters, so that Narada Muni does not interfere in your service. Then he begot 60 daughters. Out of 60, 17 were given in marriage to Kashyapa Muni, 27 were given in marriage to Moon God, 10 were given in marriage to Dharmaraju, Yamaraj, and other daughters were given in marriage to other people. So out of 17, Kashyapa begot children through various other daughters, various other wives, but only Diti was left alone. So Diti felt very sorry that all my sisters had children. I don't have any children. So she approached Kashyapa at the wrong time, and hence the result is Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So as Hiranyakashipu was born, he went on world tour, world conquest match. Till then, the Bhumandala was still submerged into the Garbhodak ocean only. Now, by the request of all the Devatas and all the great sages, the Supreme Lord Sri Vishnu appeared as Lord Varaha, and he was lifting that Bhumandala. So this was the instant at which it is happening. So since Hiranyaksha was the first demon born through Diti, after the recreation happened through Daksha and his daughters, he was called as Adi Daitya. So now Lord Vishnu is replying to that Adi Daitya, Hiranyaksha. So wherein Lord says, so we'll directly go to 10th verse. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Satyam Vayambo Vanagochara Mruga Yushmad Vidan Mrugaye Grama Simha Na Mrutyupashan Pratimuktasya Veera Vikattanam Tattva Grananti Abhadra. So here, in this word, the Supreme Lord is actually repeating the word spoken by Hiranyaksha. So, my dear Hiranyaksha, whatever you have said is actually true. Satyam Vayam Bho. Whatever you have said is actually true. That you called me as Vanagochara. You have called me as a forest dweller. Or a creature born out of water. Vanagochara. And you also called me as Mruga, an animal. That they are all true. Yushmad Vidan Mrugaye Grama Simhan. You called me as Mruga. That's actually right. And since I am a Mruga forest, I am looking for a Grama Simha. Village lion. Generally, a dog is called as Grama Simha. In the forest, out of the fear of lion or tiger, all the other forest animals, they flee here and there. In the villages, in order to show off its existence, the dogs actually bark heavily. That's why dogs are called as Grama Simha, the village lions. So Lord Varaha is telling that you have called me as a Vanya Mruga, forest animal. But now I have come to the city, I am looking for a village lion. So Lord is actually scolding at Hiranyaksha, calling him as Grama Simha. Namrutyu Pashai Pratimuktasya Veera. Na Mrutyu Pashai Pratimuktasya Veera. And you told me that after killing you only I can take the Bhumandala away. So don't worry, I will do the needful. I will kill you without making you to surrender to Mrutyipash. I will not take this Bhumandala away. Don't worry. Vikattanam Tava Grananti Abhadra. May I wish all good fortune unto you. So like that, and he says that I do not feel very bad for whatever criticism you have spoken, because your neck is already tied with Muttu Pasha. I can see that. I will fulfill your desire that you would like to go to the abode of Yamaraj. I will do that, don't worry. So let there be all auspiciousness unto you. Abhadra. Though technically Abhadra means no, without any auspiciousness, but Lord says that by giving you death, I will bring you all auspiciousness. So in that way. So this was the first verse, which Lord is actually uh, um, speaking. But just like whatever words Hiranyaksha spoken in the previous section, every verse had a different meaning. Similarly, here whatever the Supreme Lord is speaking, every word has a different meaning. So Lord Hiranyaksha called the Supreme Lord as Vanagochara. Lord himself calling himself as Vanagochara. Here Vanagochara means, one meaning is, those human beings, after completing the responsibilities of household order, after taking renounced order, either Vanaprastha or Sannyasi, have, after they entered into forest in search of Lord Vishnu, in search of Paramatma, and the Lord says that, I will be realized by those who have taken Vanaprastha or Sannyas order, who have entered into renounced order, who have entered into forest. Vana Gochara, those who are dwelling in the forest, for them I'll become visible. That is my nature. So, because then Lord also said that Grama Simha, I'm looking for Grama Simha. Grama Simha are those in the village. People, of course, nowadays people are glorified if they are rich. People are glorified if they are in position and power. But in the past, the people are glorified if they are renounced. The renounced people, whoever is living in the village, they are called as Grama Simha. They are lions in the village. They're like lion because it is very difficult to staying in home and also simultaneously renounced. That's why they would be called like that. So Lord says that I am looking for such kind of personalities, Grama Simha. Those who are completely renounced and those who are ready to accept the mercy that I want to give to them. Though I am not seen in general, but I am always traveling everywhere looking for qualified people in order to take them back home, back to Godhead. That is my compassionate nature upon all living entities. That is how Lord is actually indirectly talking about his merciful nature. And Mrityu Pashan Pratimuktasya. So he said that I don't take the words seriously about the words of those who are about to die seriously. And Lord says that don't worry, somehow or other, by the curse of the four Kumaras, you have taken the birth as a Asura. But I am so merciful unto people like you also. I will make sure that you will attain liberation being killed by me. Something like that. You will attain liberation from the current envious Asuric existence. So like that, Lord is actually expressing his merciful nature unto each and every living entity here. So there are a few verses in the 11th canto which talks about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of the Kali Yuga Avatara. While the Navayogendras, while they were discussing with King Nimi, we regularly get the post that His Grace Rushamanu Prabhu is taking classes for congregation there in Chembur in Hindi every Saturday, I think, classes on Srimad Bhagavatam from 11th canto, the discussion between Navayogendras and Maharaj Nimi. And these are some of the last verses in the 5th chapter of the 11th canto, wherein there are 3 verses glorifying the avatar of Kali Yuga. The Acharya says that these verses are actually glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Kali Yuga avatar who appeared now in this Kali Yuga. So one among the 3 verses, it says that Taktva Suduschada Sure Sthitarajya Lakshmim Dharmishtaharya Vachasa Yadagadharanyam Maya Mrugam Daitamipsitaman Vadavat Vande Mahapurushate Sri Charanaravindam Taktva Suduschada Sure Sthitarajya Lakshmim. So this verse can be explained in relation to Lord Ram, in relation to Lord Krishna, and in relation to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Ram, who is about to become the king of Ayodhya province, the king of entire Bhumandala, following the words of his father, Dharmishta Arya Vachasa Yadagadharanyam. He went to the forest. And eventually, in order to fulfill the desire of Mother Sita during the 14th year of Vanavas, at the very beginning of the 14th year, Lord Rama also went after Maya Murga, Maya Mrugam, Anvadavad, Daita Meepsitam. In order to please his dear wife, Mother Sita, he went after that Maya Mrugam. So later on, eventually, all the other events took place. Ravana came and kidnapped Mother Sita, and Ram, with the help of monkeys, went to Lanka and fought, killed Ravana, and brought back Mother Sita. So all the events happened. So it can be seen like that. In relation to Lord Krishna, so in order to follow the words of Arya, his father Vasudeva, who wanted to save Krishna somehow or other, Lord Krishna inspired Vasudeva to take him to Gokul Mahavan. He went to the forest, Vrindavan forest. There, Daita meets the Maya Mrugam Manvadavat. In order to please the Vraja ladies, the Vraja gopis, Lord Krishna became like a dancing doll in front of them. So they would always say that, my dear Krishna, I will give you butter if you dance. My dear Krishna, I will give you butter if you sing. Like that, all the elderly gopis would play with Lord Krishna, who was very small at that time. So Lord Krishna became in front of them a Maya Mruga, means a dancing doll. Whatever they say, he acted upon that like that. And when the same verse is explained in relation to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it said that Taktva Suduscheda Sureshita Rajya Lakshmi, Nimai Pandit in Navadip Dham was a well-known, renowned Sanskrit scholar. He was glorified by each and every personality. There are many number of students are joining in his school. And that personality who eventually defeated Keshav Kashmiri Pandit, who was like undefeatable. But that personality eventually, after going to Gaya, after accepting initiation from Ishwarapuri, spiritual master, the disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri, and then eventually Taktva Suduschata Sureshita Rajya Lakshmi. He was actually well-known Sanskrit Pandit in Navadip Dham, and he also had a very wonderful, loving, caring mother, and he also had a beautiful goddess of fortune as his wife. Still, in spite of having all these things, and he also had association of many wonderful Vaishnavas, in order to chase after the conditioned souls who are acting like Maya Mrugam, who are acting like an animal Mrugam under the influence of material Maya, the material nature, they are actually going away from the Supreme Personality of God. They are actually going away from Bhakti. In order to bring them back to track, in order to give them his transcendental mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted renunciation so that he can travel all over India and he can bestow his causeless mercy upon all the conditioned souls. So that is what it is mentioned. Mruga. So this is Lord's compassion upon all of us who are actually loitering here in this material world, looking after material pleasures. So that is how it is indicated. So in the next verse, Lord Varaha continues. Ete vayam nyasahara rasaukasam gata riyo gadaya dravitaste tishtamayetapi katanchidajo steyam kvayamo darinotpadya vairam. So here in this verse, Lord Varaha says that Ete vayam nyasahara rasaukasam. So here is there that though Lord Brahma entrusted you the 7 lower planetary systems, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Here Rasaukasam indicates that Rasatala and also other lower planetary systems. Though Lord Brahma allocated the 7 lower planets to you Asuras, no problem. Gata Hridyo Gadaya Dravitaste. So Lord Varaha says that, as you requested that, may you stay here for some time. I will give you a good battle. Then you will be killed by me, like that you said. Don't worry. You may think that I am shamelessly taking away your property, but don't worry. I will stay here and try to fulfill your desire. That I will fight with you and I will be killed by you. Don't worry. Tishtamaye atapi katanchid ajao. Tishtamahe. I will stay here only. I will not go here and there. I will not run away with taking away your property. Let it be. Lord Brahma allocated these lower planet systems for you. No problem. So then he says that steyam qua yamo balinotpadya vairam. By touching your property, which was given to you by Lord Brahma, the lower planet systems, including the Bhumandala, I have already created enmity with you. Where else I can go? Wherever I may go, you may follow me and you will have fight with me. So better let me stay here and fight with you. So don't worry. I will not go anywhere. I will stay here in order to fight with you, in order to fulfill your desire. I have already created enmity with you by touching your property. So that's how it is actually, he says that. So this is what direct meaning of this verse as indicated by Lord Vishnu. But what Lord Vishnu wanted to convey? Thinking Hiranyaksha to be one of his gatekeeper. So then the meaning changes as Nasahara. Here it is mentioned that Ete Vayam, we Nyasahara. He says that I am the receiver of the offerings made with devotion even by the demons who are the dwellers of Rasatala. Nyasahara Rasaukasam. Whatever gifts were given out of detachment, in the sense, whatever we have at our home, if we don't have any attachment to them, we can give it to others. We can give it to Lord, temple, etc. So out of detachment, whatever gifts you would like to give me, I will accept. I don't have any distinction that whether gifts are given by devotees or demons, whoever it may be, I will accept, because samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosi na priya. I'm equal to everyone. I do not lie. I do not envy anybody. Name dveshyosi na priya. No one is dear to me and no one is non-dear to me. Not like that. So like that, he says that. Gata hriya. I am not ashamed of doing this. I am not ashamed to accept gifts from you. I will accept because I am affectionate to everyone, whoever want to give me gifts. Whatever gift, whatever way the people of this world want to give me some gift, I will accept because ye etamam prapadyante tamstaiva bhajamiham. I have made a promise that I will reciprocate with the people the way surrender and they surrender unto me. So like that. Gata hriyo. I don't feel shame that. So you might be giving something simple and somebody else might be giving something rich. I don't have that kind of discrimination. If you are giving, I'll accept. So no problem. So Dravita. So it says that Dravitaste, because with your words, you have actually melted my heart. In the words spoken by Hiranyaksha, he said that though Brahma had given to us, but actually it is all created by you. Everything belongs to you. And now Lord Brahma would like to give this gift of 7 lower planet systems through me. It is yours only, but I am trying to offer it back to you. So your words of dedication, your words of surrender, your words of giving gifts, detachment, actually melted my heart. So like that. Dravita, Gadaya, Dravitaste. Whatever words you have spoken, they actually melt my heart. They have melted my heart. So in that way, it is actually melted. So then he actually says that Tishtamahe, I will stay here. Steyam qua yamo balinot padya vairam. So he says that Tishtamahe atapi katanchid ajo. So somehow or other, you people have desired that you people wanted to give me, you both brothers Jaya and Vijaya, wanted to give me the pleasure of Virya Rasa, the pleasure of fighting with equal opponent. Whenever I appear in various avatars, I could not find the amount of pleasure I was looking at. because none of the asuras are as powerful as me. They could not give me good battle. So you two brothers were desired to give me good battle. So that, because since you being the associates of my mind, being that in dwellers of Vaikunta, you people are as powerful as me. So that the fight becomes enjoyable only when it happens between two equal opponents. So you people wanted to give me to fight, the pleasure of fighting with equal opponents, and somehow or other, by the curse of the four Kumaras, you appeared here in the form of demons with the mood of enmity towards me. So I would like to accept that particular desire of yours, and I would like to fulfill your desire, simultaneously experience the bliss of fighting with equal opponents. So like that, Lord is actually mentioning that these words in dual meaning to Hiranyaksha. Then this is the last verse spoken by Lord Vishnu. He says that Lord Varaha, he says that Tvam Tvam padratanam kilayuta padito padipo gatasvano swastat gatasvano swastaya asu anuha samstapya chama samstapya chasman pram pramjashtu swakanam yasvam pratignan natipi yasvam pratignyam natipi parti asabhya. So here in this verse, he says that Tvam pad ratanam kilayuta padipo gatasvono avastasya asu anuha. Because you have left your home long back along with your army. Being their leader, you traveled all over the universe, defeating all the different personalities. So now, you being the commander in chief of your entire army, fight with me and defeat me very quickly. Asu Anuha. Asu, very quickly. May you defeat me very quickly. Don't worry. Do without wasting any time. Please fight with me immediately and defeat me. And then Samstapya Chasman Pramrujashru Swakanam. In the last verse, Hiranyaksha told that I will actually, after killing you, I will offer your flesh and blood as an offering to my forefathers and relieve them of the tears. Relieve them of the tears. So Lord says that no problem. May you defeat me and may you kill me and offer me as an offering to your forefathers and make them relieve of their suffering. Give them pleasure. So wipe away their tears. Those who do not fulfill their promise, there is no point in their life. How can they sit in the midst of great people, great assembly? Yaswam pratignyam nati piparti asabhya. Those who do not fulfill their pratignya, they cannot sit in a great assembly of the great people. So may you fulfill your pratignya towards your elders and wipe away their tears and become a great personality of that person who walks on his words. So may you do that. I am here to fulfill your desire. So that is how Lord actually says. There is another meaning to this verse. It says that out of love towards me, you both brothers have accepted the mood of a demon in order to give me a good fight as a demon, so that I will experience the Virya Rasa. I will experience the pleasure of fighting with an equal opponent. So therefore, may you fulfill that desire of yours. I am here to facilitate that desire. So having fulfilled that desire, may you be glorified in the assembly of great personalities. So like that, Lord is actually kind of instigating Hiranyaksha to fight with the Supreme Lord immediately. So these are the few words which Lord Varaha spoke to Hiranyaksha to instigate him into fighting. So then Maitreya Muni tells what happened next. Having heard these words of the Supreme Lord, Hiranyaksha becomes angry and starts fighting with Lord Varaha. Maitreya Uvacha Sodikshipto Bhagavata Pralabdascha Rushabrusham Ajaharolbanam Krodam Kridyamano hi Radiva. So feeling very much Rushabrusham, feeling very much angry with those words of criticism by the Supreme Lord, who became a little slight angry. Hiranyaksha became angry and began to fight with Supreme Lord. How? Hairad Iva. Just like when a snake is trampled by someone, the snake becomes very angry, he starts hissing, and then starts biting the person. Something like that. It is, this is how Hiranyaksha is responding to the words of Lord Varaha. Srijan amarshita shwasan manyu prachalitendriya asadya tarasa daityo gadaya nihanadarim. So, Srijan amarshita shwasan, breathing heavily, taking up his bow, taking up his mace, gada, he started fighting with Lord Varaha. Bhagavamstu gada vegam visrishtan ripunorasi avanchayat tiraschino yoga roda tvantakam. As Hiranyaksha taking his bow is breathing heavily, hissing and running very fast towards Lord Varaha, and he is about to hit Lord Varaha. As soon as the blow, the club or the mace is about to hit the Supreme Lord just moved aside. Just like Yoga Ruda Ivantakam, the yogis who reached Samadhi state, the topmost state of Ashtanga Yoga, they, on their own desire, raising their prana from the Mooladhara Chakra all the way up to Ajna Chakra, piercing through the brow of the head, they actually go out of this material world, enter into Sahaja. They do not surrender to the death, the normal death that happens to the people of this world. They conquer death. They keeping the death away. They come out of this body and go out of this world. Just like Yoga Ruda Ivantakam, just like the Yoga Ruda personality, those yogis who reached Samadhi, they avoid death and attain moksha. Similarly, Lord avoided the blow of the mace and moved aside. So it is like that. Hiranyaksha running very fast, very swiftly, is about to hit on the chest of Lord Vishnu. But Lord Vishnu slightly moved away. Just like the yogis avoid death. Something like that. Punargadam swamadaya brahmayantam abhikshnasha abhyadava dari kruddha samramba dushtadaschadam. So he said that because his plan of hitting Lord on his chest failed, he became more angry, and Lord also kind of now became ready for the fighting. That's why it. But in the meantime, he collected his club. He began whirling around the Supreme Lord in order to Adyadava Darim Kruddha Sambrambad Dashtadam. In order to destroy Lord Hari, Hiranyaksha started whirling the club and is about to hit the Supreme Lord. Tatascha Gadayaratim Dakshinasyam Bruvi Prabhu Ajagne Satutam Saumya Gadaya Kovido Hana. So before the demon could strike the Lord on his chest, the Supreme Lord struck on the right brow with his club. Tatascha Gadaya Ratim Dakshinasyaam Bruvi Prabhu. Bruvi means the forehead. Dakshina means on the right side. So Dakshina is right side because in the morning when we look toward the sunrise in the eastern direction, our right hand will be towards the south. That's why Dakshina is generally our right hand. Vama is our left hand. That's how it is generally considered. Dakshinasya Bruvi, Dakshinata Bruvi. The forehead and the northern, the southern side of the forehead is being hit by Lord's mace. So when the Lord is about to hit on the right brow of the demon who also is expert at club fight, he kind of putting his club in between. He stopped Lord's club hitting on his right brow. So that is what is happened. Gadaya Kovido Ahana. So in that way, he stopped the blow of the Lord's club. Evam Gadabhyam Gurvibhyam Haryaksho Harirevacha Jagisya Susamram Dvad Anyonyam Abhi Jagnatu. So initially Lord stopped the blow of Hiranyaksha and now Hiranyaksha stopped the blow of the Supreme Lord. Somehow both were expert at club fight and eager to fight with each other, and they began to fight with the clubs each other. So now the fight started between both. They started hitting each other's club. Tayo sprudottigma gadaho tangnayo Kshatashravaggrana Vivruddha Manyavo Vichitra Margam Charatorjishaya Yavad Ilayam Eva Shishmino. So here it is mentioned that Vyabad Ilayam Eva Shishminor Mruda. Just like two bulls fight for a cow, which is in seasons. Similarly, here both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are fighting for Mother Earth. Ila refers to a cow also. Ila also refers to Mother Earth. Only for the sake of the entire Bhumandala, both Hiranyaksha and Lord Varaha are fighting. Lord Varaha is trying to rescue the Bhumandala, and Hiranyaksha was trying to claim the Bhumandala as his own property. Both of them are fighting like two bulls. So two powerful bulls, out of angry towards each other, they're actually fighting very Kshatashrava Grana Vivruddha Manyavo. Their anger is continuously increasing, and their fight is also increasing. Daityasya Yajnavayavasya Yajnavayavastamaya Grihita Varahatanor Mahatmana Kauravyamayyam Vishator Vimardanam Didrukshudaga Drishibir Vrutashvarat. So here, as Lord Varaha and Hiranyakashipu were heavily engaged in the fight, just like the two bulls are fighting for cow, and these two personalities are fighting for the Bhumandala. Lord Brahma, accompanied by all the great sages and all the devatas, came there. They began to witness the fight between Hiranyaksha and the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form known as Lord Varaha. So that is what is indicated. So then Lord Brahma begins to speak, understanding that this demon is also so powerful, as powerful as the Supreme Lord. Lord may become victorious or not. So thinking like this is not that Brahma is ignorant of Lord's power, but out of love for the Supreme Lord, Lord Brahma forget that Lord's power, Lord's great power. So out of concern, Lord Brahma is going to make some request to Supreme Lord. So that is what is indicated in this verse. And then next verse onwards, Lord Brahma speaks. Asanna saundiramapeta sadvasam krita pratikarama aharya vikramam vilakshya daityam bhagavan sahasranir jagada narayana shukaram. He said that jaga ada narayanam adishukaram. Lord Brahma began to speak to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Narayana, who appeared as Adisukaram, the first Varaha, Adisukaram. So, like that. So, that is what is indicated. Asanna Saundiryam Apeta Sadvatam, Krita Pratikaram, Aharya Vikramam. Here, both of them are powerful personalities. Both of them are expert at club fight, and both of them want to defeat other and kill other and become victorious and become the proprietors of the Bhumandala. As none of them are less or more, both of them are equally powerful. Vilakshya Daityam Bhagavan's Sahasranir. Here it says that Bhagavan Sahasranir, Lord Brahma, who is the Lord of thousands of great sages, began to speak to Supreme Lord. In some words, what Lord Brahma spoke is explained in the next verses. That is, Lord Brahma was a kind of bewildered that both of them seems to be equal opponents. Who can win? There is 50-50 chances. So thinking like that, Lord Brahma begins to speak to Supreme Lord. So now Lord Brahma speaks. Brahmo vacha eshate deva devanam angri moolam upeyusham vipranam saurabeinam bhutanam api anagasam agaskrud bayakrud dushkrud asmad radhavarosuran anveshan apratirahato lokan atati kantaka. Here he says that this demon, Eshate Deva Devanam Angri Moolam Upeyusham Vipranam Sauradeinam Bhutanam Api Anagasam. This personality is a great trouble to Devatas. He is great trouble to Angri Moolam. To the devotees you have served, who have taken shelter at your lotus feet. Angri Moolam Upeyusham means those personalities who are known as devotees who have taken shelter at your lotus feet, Angri Moolam. Vipranam unto the Brahmanas, Saurabeinam to the cows. Saurabeinam means the children of Surabhi. Kashyapa had 17 wives. Among them, one wife name is Surabhi. And this Surabhi gave birth to all the cows and bulls and other such animals. Cows, bulls, goats, and other such animals which give milk and sustain their children, etc., etc. So, is actually this fellow is trouble to the animals, of the cows also, because cows give milk. With that milk, Brahmanas perform yajna. From the milk, Brahmanas extract ghee, and then with that ghee, they perform yajna. So, in order to stop the Brahmanical culture, in order to stop the yajna, which is performed for your pleasure, so this personality is a great trouble to all of them. Saurabeinam, all the children of the Surabhi, the cows, and Bhutanam api anagasam, among all the living entities who are sinless, the sinless living entity. Sinful people are all his friends. The sinless people, the pious people are all his enemies. He is troubling them. Agaskrud, Bayakrud, Dushkrud, Agaskrud. So he causes fear among them. He actually Dushkrud. He actually chases after such people, creates fear in them, and destroys them. Asmad Radha Varo Asura Anveshan Apratirato Lokam Atati Kantaka. He has become like a great thorn for the entire universe, the people of the entire universe. May you please remove this thorn very quickly. Don't play with him for a long time. May you kill him immediately. Because Asmat Radha Varo Asura. Somehow or other, this Vasura performed some tapasya, and I have given him blessing that you will never have any opponent in the battle. This personality received a blessing from me that he will never have a opponent. No one can stand in front of him in the battle. But Lord, my dear Lord, you are beyond all such words of ours. So may you kill him immediately. You are the Supreme Lord. So he is no match for you. Please kill him immediately. Mainam mayavinam druptam nirankusham asattamam akrida balavadeva yata yata uttitam. So he says that akrida balavadeva, my dear Lord, don't play with him like a small children. The children want to play like equal friends. So, but don't play like this. This person is not a normal person. He's actually a great demon. Mainam. Mayavinam is a great Mayavi. Expert at magic. Druptam is full of pride. Nirankusham is uncontrollable. No one can put Ankush on him. Asattamam, and is very much wicked. So just like Garuda plays with a snake, a trampled snake which is hissing at Garuda. Garuda plays with the snakes for some time, then kills the snake. Don't play like that with this wicked person. Kill him immediately. Don't play with him. So this is the request of Lord Brahma towards Lord Varaha. And he gives for few more reasons why he should kill immediately. Nayavadyesha vardeta swam velam prapya dharuna swam deva mayamastaya tava jayi agamachyuta. So nayavad esha vardeta swam velam prapya dharuna. So my dear Lord, you have appeared during noon time, during Abhijit Muhurta, in order to lift the Bhumandala. So that Abhijit Muhurta gone long back. Now it is almost evening. And in the twilight time, in the Sandhya time, the Asuras, here actually is a Asura. Asuras get more power. Their power increases 1,000 times in the night. So before night approaches, may you kill him immediately. So here Lord Brahma thinking that if the Asura becomes more powerful, he gets all the mystic powers, it becomes very difficult to defeat him. This is out of love for the Supreme Lord is speaking like this. Because Lord, none of the mystic powers of this mental world can do any harm to Supreme Lord. But out of love, he is thinking that, my dear Lord, please don't wait till the twilight happens, till the Sandhya passes. Because in Sandhya, he will get more powers. It becomes very difficult to kill him. Kill him now. Right away, kill him before he becomes more powerful. Swam Velam. Night will be his own time. So evening and night, evening, twilight and night, these people become more powerful. Don't wait till then. It's already in the evening. So late evening. So it is long back that you appeared and started fighting with him. You are playing with him for a long time. So may you kill him immediately. Esha Goratama Sandhya Lokachumbat Kari Prabho Upasarpati Sarvatman Suranam Jayamavaha. If you wait till evening, all the devatas and all the great sages and all the people of this world, they are actually in fear that there could be a pralaya. This person is as powerful as Lord Shiva that he can destroy the entire universe. He will get those powers in the night time especially. Esha Goratama Sandhya, before the Goratama Sandhya appears, may you please kill this person. Otherwise, in that Sandhya, if this fight continues till Sandhya, if he gets powers, he will destroy the entire universe. By killing him, bring victory to the Devatas. Shuranam Jayam Avaha. May you become victorious by killing this demon for the sake of the Devatas. Adunaisho Abhijinnama Yogo Mahurtikayagat Shivaya Nastvam Suhrudam Asunistara Dustaram. May, though you have appeared during Abhijit Muhurta, that Abhijit Muhurta, long back it went away. Now only some time is left in the daytime. It is already in the evening. It is about to be twilight, Sandhya, and then it becomes night. So before night comes, may you please kill this demon. Asu Nistara Dustaram. Don't waste any time. Kill him immediately. Asu, quickly kill him. Shivaya Nastvam Surudam. In order to bring auspiciousness to myself and all the devatas, may you kill him immediately. Dishtatvam vihitam mrutyum ayam asadita swayam vikramyainam mrude hatva Lokan Adehi Sarmani. So here it says that it was ordained by you previously. By your desire, the four Kumaras had cursed Jaya and Vijaya to become demons for 3 lifetimes in this material world. And they are supposed to be fighting with you. They are supposed to be defeated by you. And they are supposed to be killed by you. As it is ordained by Kashyapa Muni. Kashyapa Muni also predicted that, my dear wife Diti, though you have two inauspicious sons, two envious sons, two demoniac sons, but they will not be cursed by the Brahmanas. Instead, they will be killed by the Supreme Lord. Because you have regretted for your act of uh, insisting me on the union in the evening, which is not the suitable time. So you felt bad, you felt sorry, and you regretted. So because of which your two sons, though they are envious, though they are powerful, though they are wicked, but they will be killed by the Supreme Lord. So it is already ordained by you. Because of that, your order, the four Kumaras cursed them to become demons. And Kashyapa predicted that he will be killed by you. So may you do it needful. It is already ordained that he will be killed by you. So why are you wasting time? Why are you playing with him like Garuda playing with snakes? Please kill him immediately. So this was the request made by Lord Brahma onto Lord Varaha. Next, in the next chapter, the Lord was slightly smiling at Brahma. Lord understood. So, my dear Brahma, you know about my power. Don't worry, I am not bound by the laws of this material world. I can kill him in the night also. Though he may become powerful, but I can kill him anytime. So, slightly smiling and giving hope and pleasure to Brahma, Lord Vishnu continues to fight with Hiranyaksha. Maitreya Uvacha Avadarya Virinchasya Nirvelikamrutam Vacha Prahasya Prema Garbhena Tad Apangena Sograhit. Prahasya Prema Garbhena. Out of love, Lord Brahma spoke. And out of love, Lord Vishnu is smiling at Lord Brahma. Because Avadarya Virinchasya Nirvelikamrutam Vacha. Nirvelika, unpretentious words of Lord Brahma, Lord Varaha accepted because they are full of nectar, they are full of pleasure. They are only out of intention to give pleasure to all the devatas who are troubled by Hiranyaksha till now. So his desire is not selfless. So Lord was very much pleased with Lord Brahma's request and slightly smiling at him out of compassion and love, continued to fight. Tata sapantam mukatas charantam akuto bayam jaganotpatya gadaya hanav asuram akshaja. Then, in order to give pleasure to Brahma, in order to show that no, I'm not powerless. I am powerful. I can defeat this demon. I can kill him also in right time. So Lord jumped up and taking his club, whirling around and hit on the lower cheeks of the demon. Hanao Asuram Akshaja. The Supreme Lord hit on the cheeks, the lower cheeks of the Asura. If you remember, this was in relation to Hanumanji also. When Hanumanji was a small child, one fine morning looking at in the sky that there was a red fruit appearing in the midst of the branches of a tree. Thinking that that red fruit was red thing appearing to be like a fruit was actually a fruit. Hanumanji jumped across. He jumped all the way up to the position of the sun. In the early morning, the sun looks red. So sun god, thinking that the small boy is going to swallow me up, he requested Indra to do something. Then Indra chased after Hanumanji and he threw his Vajrayudha. That Vajrayudha hit on the lower chin of that small boy. Then the small boy fell unconscious. Of course, then Vayu withdrew his air and the entire universe became breathless and everyone came to Vayu and begged forgiveness. Then they all blessed Hanumanji with lot of powers. So because Hanumanji, the small boy, fell down unconscious, being hit by Vajrayudha on his lower chin, he became known as Hanuman, because Hanu means the lower chin. So that was the reason. So it is like that. Sahata tena gadaya vihata bhagavatkarat vigyurnitapta dreje tadadbhutam iva bhavat. So then it continued. The fight continued between both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So, having hit on the lower chin of the Asura, the club of the Supreme Lord fell down. And this action was the great astonishing because, so it's actually what happened. Sahata tena gadaya vihata bhagavat karat. After hitting the lower chin of the Hiranyaksha, then immediately Hiranyaksha used his own bow, his own club, and stopped the club of Lord Varaha. And hitting each other, the club of Supreme Lord fell down. It showed that initially when Lord hit on the lower chin of Hiranyaksha, Lord seems to be more powerful. But being blocked by the club of Hiranyaksha, Lord's club fell, slipped from the hands of Lord Vishnu and Lord Varaha and fell down. Then it seemed that Lord Hiranyaksha having more power than the Supreme Lord. That's why it said Adbhutam. Satada labda tirtopi na babade nirayudam manayan samrude dharmam vishwakshenam prakopayan. So Hiranyaksha said that I do not fight irreligiously. I do not hit on a person who is weaponless. So please take your weapon and fight. Till the time you take weapon, I will not fight with you. Like that stood, following the principles of the conduct of warfare. So because here Asura is giving a chance to Supreme Lord that I is boasting that I am following Dharma fight, the code of conduct of the fight. So take up your weapon and then I will kill you. So Lord kind of felt sorry for this. Vishwaksenam Prakopayati became angry. Then becoming angry, what he did? Gadayam apaviddayam ahakare vinirgate manayam asatadharmam sunabam chasmarad vibhu. So as the club of the Supreme Lord fell down, all the devatas began to cry loudly that, oh, now Lord is at problem. So, and the Lord respected the proper behavior of the warrior code of conduct of the warfare towards Hiranyaksha. Then the Supreme Lord remembered his weapon Sudarshan Chakra and also Gada. Tam Vyagra Chakram Ditiputra Dhamena Swaparshada Mukkena Visajjamanam Chitravacho Atadvidan Kecharanam Tatra Smashan Swastite Amunjahiti. It says that as soon as the devatas were crying and they are feeling sorry for the Lord's situation, and Hiranyaksha was feeling very powerful that I could make the Lord to give up his weapon, something like that. Then Lord immediately remembered his Sudarshan Chakra and also the Gada, both so both the weapons immediately appeared in both the hands of the Supreme Lord, Lord Varaha. And then Chirad Vachotad Vidam Ke Charanam. So all the devatas who were standing in the sky, they could not understand that this Hiranyaksha was Lord's associate only. He is as powerful as the Supreme Lord. They were thinking him as a demon now. And the Lord thinking that Tatra Smashan Swastite Amum Jahiti. The Lord was actually looking for the welfare of all the devatas, swasti unto the devatas and swasti unto his associate, the gatekeeper who appeared now as Hiranyaksha. Thinking thus, Lord went ahead for fighting. So then So then what happens? So for few verses we'll not read, but we'll just directly go through the meaning of those verses. So here it says that first Hiranyaksha saw the Sudarshan Chakra in his hand. Then Lord is walking towards Hiranyaksha. So becoming angry that I have told him to take the weapon, Gada up and fight with me, and you have brought your Sudarshan Chakra thinking that you are a great mystic person. I also know mystic. I also have mystic powers. So breathing very heavily, Hiranyaksha wheeled around his Gada and began to walk towards Lord Varaha, biting his lips. So then, shouting loudly that you are dead, shouting very loudly that San Chakshano Dahan Iva. In one moment, I am going to burn you away. Saying thus, Hiranyaksha threw his club onto the chest of Lord Vishnu. So as Hiranyaksha threw his club after whirling it around and onto the chest of Lord Vishnu, using one of his feet, he kicked the club and the club fell at a distance. So then the Lord says that, my dear demon, my dear Hiranyaksha, you have desired to defeat me and become victorious and claim the proprietorship over the Bhumandala and the lower planetary systems. Aha chayudam adaswa gataswa tam jigishati iti ukta sa tada bhuyas tadayan vyanadad brusham. So may you now take your weapon and fight with me. I will not fight with a person weaponless. So you take. Now Lord is actually kind of giving a reply to him. Previously he told that I will not fight with weaponless. Now Lord says that I will not fight with you. So take up the weapon and fight with me. So then the demon immediately took up the weapon, the club, and wheeled it around and again threw it at the Supreme Lord. So as the club is coming toward the Supreme Lord, Lord caught the club and threw it at a far distance. And being his club was thrown at a distance, then Lord is again telling him, please take up the club and fight with me. This is second chance was given to Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyaksha felt very sad about it. So club is not a good chance. So then he took a trident, a trishul. He took up a trishul. Jagraha trishikam shulam jvala jvalana lolupam yajnaya drita rupaya vipraya bincharanyata. He took up a trishul, which is actually burning like a sun, huge fire giving light to the entire area. In order to destroy the Supreme Lord, he threw it onto the chest of the Supreme Lord. So as soon as the Trishula left from Hiranyaksha and is about to hit the Supreme Lord, now Lord employed Sudarshan Chakra. That Sudarshan Chakra cut the Trishula into number of pieces. Just like when Garuda previously, in order to release his mother Vinata from the slavery hood of his stepmother Kadru, the mother of the snakes, Garuda went to Swarga and stole the Amruta from the storehouse of Indra, which is guarded by so many devatas. But as he was taking the nectar away, Indra threw his thunderbolt. In order to respect the invincible nature of thunderbolt, Garuda gave up one of his feathers, and thunderbolt came and cut the feather of Garuda. Thunderbolt came and cut the feather of Garuda into number of pieces. And Indra, it appeared the first time said in the Mahabharata and Ramayana that Indra's weapon is so powerful that it kind of cut off a wing of Garuda, something like that. But actually Garuda, out of respect for thunderbolt, left one feather, one portion of the feathers, and thunderbolt cut it into pieces, something like that. Here Lord Sudarshan Chakra cut the trident into number of pieces. And as the trident put in divided into pieces, the mace was thrown away, the trident cut into pieces, and Hiranyaksha felt very, very, very sad. He jumped into the air and holding his two hands together, he wanted to hit on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he hit on the chest of the Supreme Lord and then immediately disappeared. He understood that I cannot fight compared to the Supreme, this personality. This he seems to be like a Varaha, a forest animal, but he's so powerful, I cannot fight with him. So then understanding that in order to trick the Lord, in order to put him in illusion, the demon created so many illusions. Now it is already in the evening. It is already night just started. So he created so many illusions that entire universe became dark. And there none of the stars and none of the things are visible. And the mountain, there are so many hobgoblins, witches, they are roaring here and there. The cloudy atmosphere is pouring down. Blood, urine, mucus, pus, stool. And also there are so many mountains issuing forth so many weapons. And so many cruel animals were running here and there, making a lot of sounds. The entire atmosphere seems to be like destruction is going to happen for the entire world. As Brahma said in the before, if the night comes, if the evening comes, these people become powerful and he can destroy the entire universe. That much power he has. So it seems to be the destruction of the entire universe. Then the Supreme Lord employed his Sudarshan Chakra. That Sudarshan Chakra removed all the illusions. All the illusions are completely destroyed by the Sudarshana Chakra. When the Sudarshan Chakra destroyed all the illusions, Hiranyaksha understood that my illusions are also not working at all. Then he immediately came and grabbed the Supreme Lord in his two arms. So the Lord stayed within the two arms of Hiranyaksha for some time, then he disappeared and stood next to him. So Hiranyaksha understood he also is a great mystic person. He is also kind of showing his mystic abilities. So then understanding that it is not so, so both of them started fighting with their arms. So their arms and with weapons, etc., etc. After fighting with him for some time, then in order to end the fight, the Lord killed him by hitting him on the lower portion of the ears. Tam mushtibir vinignantam vajrasharer adokshaja karena karna mulehan yata tvastram marutpati. Just like Indra hit Vritrasura on his chest with his fist, similarly, employing his front legs, the hands, Lord Varaha hit just below the ears. Karna Moolam means the lower portion of the ears. By that hitting, the strong hit, Hiranyaksha fell down dead. Hiranyaksha fell down and he is lifeless. So that is what is indicated. Kshitaushyanam tamakunta varchasam karaladamshram paridashtadachadam ajadayo viksha sasamshuragata aho imam ko nulabeta samsthitam. So he fell dead and his entire body is actually brightly shining and his teeth are actually pressing tightly, cutting his tongue. Actually, that is the expression of anger. So it's like that. So that is how he fell dead. And Lord Brahma saying that who can attain such a glorious death, that he was killed by Lord Vishnu personally. Who can be killed by the touch of Lord Vishnu? The great fortunate personality that is being indicated. Yam yogi no yoga samadhi naraho dhyayanti lingad asato mumukshaya tassaita daitya rishabha pradahato mukam prapashyam tanumusrujjaha. He says that being struck by the lotus feet of Lord Varaha, he attained liberation from his current existence, that Asuric body. So the yogis meditate on Lord's feet and that feet hit him and with the touch, he left his body. He is a great fortunate person. So thus, he has attained death by looking at the wonderful face of the Supreme Lord. He has attained death by the Supreme Lord looking at the face of the Supreme Lord. एतौ तौ प्रसादादस्य शापाद्यावस् असद्गतिं पुण्यकतिप्यैस्तानं प्रपश्यति जन्मभिः. So he said that these two demons being cast by four Kumaras are supposed to take birth in this world and supposed to be killed by the Supreme Lord. That is what happened now. And the Devatas are all being pleased with the activities of the Supreme Lord. They actually express their gratitude toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namo namaste kila yajna tantave sthito gurusita amala sattva murtaye dishtahatoyam jagatam aruntudas tvatpada bhaktya vayamisha nirvrata. He says that, my dear Lord, we offer our respectable obeisance unto you, the Yajna personified, who accepted the form of Lord Varaha for the sake of protecting the entire world. Let there be good fortune to all of us. Because of that good fortune, now you have killed this demon. Though the twilight already passed, the night had come, though he began to show his miraculous powers, but still you have killed him very easily. So, my dear Lord, thank you very much. In order to save us, you appeared in this Sattva Murti, in this most astonishing and pure form of pure goodness. And you have done this Herculean task, this wonderful pastime. So, this is how the entire pastime is narrated by Maitreya onto Vidura. So, Maitreya says that having killed the demon, the Supreme Lord went back to his abode, and Lord Brahma associated with all the Devatas, they also went back to their respective abodes. And I have spoken this story, this entire event onto you as I have heard from my spiritual master. Maya yata nuktam avadite hare. Whatever I have heard from my spiritual master, whatever I remember, the same thing I have repeated to you. So this is the pastime, because since you have asked me about this pastime, how could Varaha had a fight with Hiranyaksha and kill him? May you tell me in detail? So this is how it all happened. This is my answer to your eagerness to hear about this event. So this is where the narration ends, and the remaining 6 verses, Suta Goswami actually pronounces the blessings upon the hearers. So that blessings we will read in the next class, next week when we meet once again. So it is already 8:50 here. So we'll stop here. And if I am already late, please forgive me. We will continue with the Kirtan. Maybe after the Kirtan, we'll do the Kirtan for some time, 10 minutes or so. And then after the Kirtan, if devotees want to ask something, then we'll take questions. Hare Krishna, Abhay Chaitanya Prabhu, is that okay?
Yeah. That was Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Nice seeing you after the gap. Actually, Prabhuji, thank you. Thanks for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, if nobody is having any questions or comments, shall we ask Rishabhanu Prabhu to do a Kirtan?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Should I ask after the Kirtan?
It is better we'll take questions after the Kirtan. Let the Kirtan happen. After the Kirtan, we'll take questions.
No problem. No problem.
Rishabhanu Prabhu? Shall we have Kirtan, Rishabhanu Prabhu? Hari bol, Rishabhanu Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji. Prabhuji will start. Prabhuji's video and audio are already open. Prabhuji will start.
Okay.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अष्टद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा